You ever sweat so much in your sleep that you wake up and thought you pissed yourself? Like, I'm just not sure if that's something I should be concerned about or what, because it happens often. But I know I slept good when I wake up and thought I went wee-wee. Welcome back to Let's Make Mistakes, where I can't teach you how to make anything, but I can show you how to mess it up. This is a video journal of me keeping track of my artistic pursuits. Please feel free to make something along with me if you feel inclined to do so, but if not, that's fine too. We're here just to make something, not take it too serious, and hopefully learn something. Last week I finished my painting. Very colorful, very fun to do. I suggest you check it out. But we finished that and I thought, I'm no good at portraits. Let's break out the sketchbook, do a little study, and eventually we could probably paint one. Glad you could join me, glad you could be here. Dude, who would have thought? 6 episodes? That's crazy to me. I didn't think I'd make one, let alone 5 more. Now, this is a possible trigger warning. There may or may not be demonic images shown in this video. I do not trust my skills enough to not promise that anything's gonna look too wonky or crazy. So we're gonna take this very slow, not put any pressure on. Oh dude, that looks crazy. I'd like to say that this is a judgment-free zone, but when it's based on my work, I'm gonna judge it very harshly. I mean, like, what do you... Trust the process and all that, but that? No. I'm gonna shut up. You could probably mute this. Go ahead and mute the video. I'm not gonna say anything important. But what is important, I think, is that we are doing it, even though we are not good at it. It's okay not to be good at stuff. Even if your first inclination is to give up when it's not going your way, continue. Excuse me. Now, before we get too deep into anything, I wanted to share a quote from the Canadian author Bob Proctor. The quote reads, "A person is successful if they have a goal and currently in pursuit of that goal." Now, I believe in that interview he was quoting someone else when he was talking about that subject, but it's still something very valuable to hold on to. And of course it made me think about my own goals and my own pursuits, that kind of thing, and it reassured me that I am on the right path with making these videos. It does help because I am not much of a speaker. I am much more classified as a listener. So, not necessarily forcing myself to talk, but putting myself in a situation where I let words come out instead of someone else's words coming in. I think that's very healthy for me. It makes me want to push even harder to keep creating. Huge reassurance that I'm right where I need to be. Okay. We're going fast and loose with this one. We can slow down, we can dumb it down. We can get to some real business, and that's the music for this week. Most of my music consists mainly of electronic music, but it's more or less the same situation whenever I talked about jazz. It's not paying attention to the words being sung, but it's about the groove It's about the tempo, the pace. Like I said, it's the Mario speed boost. It gets me where I need to go. A few recommendations for you are Rainbow by A-Trip, A-T-R-I-P, Rainbow. Tell You Straight by Jigitz, Jigitz. That one's good. I like that one. And Flicks by Frau Frau. She was featured in the Shrek 2 soundtrack, I believe. Her voice, fantastic. Go through her whole discography. Actually, you'll find something you like too. But specifically Flicks, that one's definitely catchy. It's been stuck in my head since I heard it. And it's the good kind of repetitive for me. This one's already looking wonky to me. She's great. I like her. But this one, dude, he looks like a salamander that got denied a loan. Like, he doesn't look okay. Can you just say things that make sense, please? Just say anything that makes sense. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I've been yapping so much, it's hard for me to focus on drawing. So I wanted to look it up on camera and learn something with you guys if you didn't know. So I looked up, why do certain experiences give us goosebumps? Goosebumps, chills, heebie-jeebies, whatever you call them, are an oddly pleasant sensation that most of us experience when cold, overcome with emotion, or are sexually aroused. Goosebumps are very old evolutionarily, says Dr. Keith W. Roach, an internal medicine doctor and associated professor of clinical medicine. Golly. Humans can also get goosebumps during moments of strong emotional experiences. And what's very interesting, music and film are some of the ways that elicit emotional goosebumps. That is very interesting. There are sounds in the environment, including musical sounds. The emotional brain doesn't process it as music. It hears a person scream. It hears a very high violin in a certain frequency and thinks it's a threatening noise. Okay. So it taps into the primal part of your brain. Goosebumps are pretty universal, so I hope that's as interesting to you as it is to me. Now that we know why we get goosebumps, I wanted to share with you a list that I made of things that give me goosebumps. Spoilers for this part about some movies, but it's for things that have been out for a while, so I don't expect anybody to get upset by this, but Timothée Chalamet in the movie The King, he's given a speech because him and his boys are about to take on the French in the Battle of Agincourt, and he's trying to pump them up because they're outnumbered. They're at a disadvantageous position downhill from the enemy. Things aren't looking great, so he's got to pump up the bros, and he's all like, "Oh, you expect of me a speech?" And he's like, I'd say the same thing if we met each other in the street by chance," or something like that. And he says, "Fight for the space between you. Fight for that space. Make it tissue, make it tissue, make it mass, make it England, make it England." I'm like, dude, I'd fight for Timothée Chalamet any day. The next one is for Travis Fimmel playing Ragnar Lothbrok in the show Vikings. Dude, he killed that role, by the way. Shout out Travis. But Ragnar is being put to death by King Aela because of all his treachery, his crimes, his raids. He gave himself up, basically. I'm not going to explain the whole plot, but he's being put to death by King Aela. He's hanging in a cage, suspended in a tree over a pit of snakes. He's about to die. And the speech he gives before he's put to death, it gives me goosebumps every single time. I shall not enter Odin's hall with fear. He's like, Odin's gonna welcome you with a feast. My death comes without apology. Oh my god, dude, Travis Fimmel, very underrated. That show is very underrated. Because I've seen it like 3 times all the way through and never get tired of it. Probably gonna restart it sometime soon after this. The next one is from the show Vikings again. It's after Ragnar's death. Odin himself comes down from Valhalla to Midgard, and he tells Ragnar's sons that he's dead. Like, he personally comes and because the 5 sons of Ragnar can just sense something's wrong after their father's death. They can't really tell, but something's up. But all these crows start flying around. The sons kind of just drop whatever they're doing and stare around because they don't know what's going on. And Odin comes walking up the dock, and the sons are like preparing weapons for whatever they're about to do. And as soon as they see him, they know what's up. Like, he doesn't even have to exchange words with some of them. He only comes and speaks to Ivar. Your father lie cold in the iron earth or something like that. He's like, yo, your pop's dead as a mug. That sucks, homie. And then he dips. And then the scream that Ivar lets out, because he's making a weapon, and he's at the forge, and he's hammering a hot piece of metal, and he just starts striking the hammer. He's like, ah! Just a very bone-chilling scream, and that gives me goosebumps every time. And of course, Avengers Endgame, when all the portals start opening up, when Steve Rogers is just standing in front of Thanos and his army about to take him on, and he stands up, and then he gets like a comm in his earpiece. What does he say? Oh, Sam's in his earpiece. It like static, and then Sam says, on your left, and then the portal opens up. Dude, that gives me goosebumps every time I see it. Ooh, and the song Gimme Shelter by the Stones. Dude, Mary Clayton, a gospel singer, she features on that song. Like, she's there in the chorus. And oh my god, shout out Mary Clayton, because she was born to sing. Oh my gosh. I think it's the second to last chorus in there, but by the end of that, she's basically screaming. And the way she's reaching so far up high to reach that note, and her voice cracks. Oh my god, dude. That scratches a part of the brain. Pretty decent for a profile. That's not bad. That's a decent looking dude right there. Okay, I've been yapping too long. Let's wrap this thing up. I feel like we made some decent progress today. Oh, his lips gonna went into... Okay, that's fine. Decent progress. I feel accomplished, getting a better feel for our features. I hope you enjoyed yourself if you've made it this far, and if you have, I appreciate you. Glad you could join me in another installment of Let's Make Mistakes. I hope to see you in the next one, but until then, be good and embrace your mistakes. Bye.